Hey, what's up, everyone? This week we're talking about how to package your personal brand. Check it out. Hey, what's up? Welcome to Brands on Brands. I'm Brandon Birkmeyer, your personal branding coach, and I believe that building a brand that matters is the only way for a brand to thrive tomorrow. Today's tip of the week is all about how to package your personal brand. Usually you talk about packaging for a product, but a personal brand has packaging too. It's how you present yourself, right? It's the visual, it's the audio, it's the how you price yourself, all the things people can see from the outside. Your brand image is created by how you package it. You get to determine that. That's up to you. So my tip for the week is to think about the packaging of your personal brand. What does that look like? What does it contain? What does your website look like? What does your show look like? What does your content look like? How is that representing you and your brand? Does it stand out? Is it different? Is it clean? Is it professional? All those things. Now, here's some examples, right? For the show that we've been building here. When I first started a podcast, I was just getting started like a lot of people. And one of the things I invested in pretty early on was making sure I had clean, professionally graphic designed cover art and an intro that was created by a production studio where we scripted out the song, we scripted out the actual voiceover, put it all together so that the first thing you see with my show is great cover art, and the first thing you hear on my show is a professional introduction. And then I have an outro as well, designed by the same company with that music. This is the setup. It is the ambiance. It is the packaging of the content, which is in the middle, right? I thought about all of that so that the experience feels elevated. Now, the same thing happens when I, switched to doing more video. As I had the opportunity, I started to upgrade how the studio looked in the background, right? The things you see in the picture can be upgraded step by step to make it look nicer. And everyone's got their own aesthetic. So what you like is different than what I like. But taking the time to think about that, what does it look like? Can it be designed in a way that looks better? Is going to help you along. Now, that's my tip for the week, is to think about what you could do to package yourself in a way that sets you apart from the competition, that elevates your brand, and that moves you forward. Now, I'll give you one little extra story before we end the show today. When I was going to my first conference for social media called Social Media Marketing World, when I went there for the very first time, I had just got my show going, my podcast going, and I was looking for guests for the show. And I wanted to make sure that some of the best speakers at that conference were interested in coming on the show. So I had reached out to a few of them beforehand, said I wanted to meet them. But when I showed up to the conference, I actually brought a photographer with me. And the photographer was a friend of mine, and he'd come around and he'd take pictures of me with the people that I'd meet. And as I would introduce myself, I'd get great pictures. And two things happened. One is I had a great picture to send to them afterwards of both us meeting and of them on stage if they're speaking on stage. And two, the association of me having a photographer with me created a better experience, a better representation of myself when meeting these people for the first time, so that they were thinking to themselves, oh, this person has a photographer, they must be worth listening to. Obviously, I was the same as everybody else. I just had a friend with me taking pictures, but just the association of having a photographer with me made it an easier transition into the conversations, into the relationships with people that had been speaking and touring and creating influence much longer than I have, right? So now the people I look up to see me as someone that's worth having a conversation with. Now, this might not be the way you want to approach it. It's just an interesting story as how something simple as that, as bringing someone along to take pictures with you, changes the perspective. So that's my tip for the week, is to get out there, think about how you're packaging yourself, how you're representing yourself, not just online with your cover art and your biopics, but also with your Zoom calls and with your studio backgrounds, with the sound if you have a podcast, or with even the in-person presentation of yourself. How are you dressing? How are you walking into a room? And what are you doing to develop the relationships and the experience when you meet people? That's what I got for you guys today. I hope that helps. Let me know if you guys take advantage of any of these tips. I'd love to hear your stories, and just post them on my Instagram account at Brandon Birkmeyer. And I hope that helps. As always, I'll catch you guys next time.
Brands on Brands.